Hello, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Meda Jimo, team leader of Plan B Express. So the team leader of Plan B Express. So tonight, just kind of an high fit an update for us. I'm going to start from the aspect of taking personal responsibility. Just a refresher interaction for people who cares to take personal responsibility. Take note of this. We're going towards hitting a leg up of the Bullrun, and then you agree with me, people who are smart already taking advantage of the people who thought they are wise. Okay, so the undue advantage of it is this: many juicy platforms will be setting up every now and then because we're going towards the big Bullrun, as it were. So now, anyone who is not ready to take personal responsibility, I can bet with you, you may not really like our community because it's not about, just make a sweet mouth for you and all of that. But if you can take personal responsibility, I can bet with you, you're going to make a lot of money, and insane money are going to be made. Now, congratulations, those of you who made it for the Crypto Academy getting started tomorrow. And of course, I think it's like most of our training this session is going to be running more on Saturday because we have more candidates for Saturday. So Saturdays are going to be the training, I think from 10 a.m. and it's going to be communicated across to us, those of us who are on the physical class. And those of you who are online, please take note, please. I know some persons were asking, those of us not in Port Harcourt, please, predominantly our activities training are online. And so just for the advantage of people who are domiciled, within Port Harcourt and all of that. So I can boldly tell you statistically, we are more serious-minded people online than offline. That does not mean that people who are in Port Harcourt are not serious, but of course we know ourselves. We know that when the bull run comes, that the office is always filled up. And then when the bear market are so much blooming, people don't come. We know ourselves. And then, so congratulations to those of you who have endured the bear market continually as we're moving. And we have said the moment we enter bull run proper, we shut down the office, so nobody comes to the office. Come, no one attend to you. And so we're going to, let me just quickly look at the market update. Okay, there is not even nothing to look at in the market, but just to put it straight, just to put the record straight, let me quickly take up to BTC and then the dollar cost average, the DSY, the dollar index, so we all have been telling us this, that even if you don't know anything, you should understand the DXY. So BTC, for those of you who have been following us in our trend and update in crypto and all of that, we just say, okay, we just have a golden cross. All right, so this is a golden cross for BTC. So invariably, we can see the heavy Red Sea we have been battling with, and I've told us until we sustainably come across, that is a big resistance for a very long time. I'm not sure it was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, thereabout. And now until we sustainably go above the Red Sea, which is going to be above $31,000, and then retest and use this one as a support, we're still battling. But can markets still come down somewhere? Maybe somewhere around 27,000, but funny enough, we do not want to go below $25,000. You can still struggle, and we just want to use this red line as the worst case scenario of not, but we want to hint on top of this guy continually to say, okay, we're going to be having something like this. Okay. Yeah, something similar to this. This was this COVID-19. Yeah, before the real second, the main golden cross. This was a kind of imperfect situations. Let's go back to 2015, thereabout. Sorry. Okay, and take a full scale of BTC chart. So in other words, we just want to continue having a kind of trend, continue and follow up. Now, but I've told us that we're going to have issues. Some people are going to miss out of the big run of the market. Yeah, so the best solution is pay attention, and then by now you should be withdrawing yourself from too many Ponzi scheme. I mean, ROI platforms and all of that, because those guys are very smart because they know what to do, to get enough money from people's hand. And this is the very critical point. Of course, before now was a critical point, but we have more critical point now, that if there's anything you do not need to have yourself get involved in unnecessarily now, is to be rooming your money around, funny Ponzi scheme and all of that. So we don't want to break this below this again, right? Just like, below the red line, worst case scenario. And then, but this is what we have. The good news is this. If we back to 27,000 lucky we. However, I have my price on OKEX set. Let me check. I'm coming. Let me quickly open I have my price. That is my recurring buy for BTC at 25,700. Yeah, what if it doesn't happen? It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. So, but if it doesn't happen, I take out my money and then I go off the market and then channel the money to another thing. That's one thing we need to understand. So, but what you do not wait until when it happens. You plan yourself ahead the happening, and so that when it happens, it does not take you unaware. Just want to pick up something very fast. There's go. That's a sniper buy. I just want to use an example for you guys. Okay, $25,700 price. So if the guy could go over there, yeah, something like this. So just like an example, yeah, just giving you now ahead of time to say, hey, if BTC can just mistakenly hit down to 25,000, yeah, $25,700, just get some Bitcoin for me and all of that. So, but what if it doesn't happen? No problem. There are no issue about that. There's no fight. So, but I remember, last year, early this year, January, I said the best you can tell yourself is that you're buying Bitcoin now, buying Ethereum now, BNB now, and all of those coins are legacy coins. The good thing is that you are buying the bear market. You're buying the bear market. So you're buying at the deep. It doesn't matter which price you bought up. Somebody buy at 25,000, somebody buy, at 17,000, somebody buy at 15 or 16,000, somebody buy at 30,000. What matters is that you are actually buying the deep. So you can't get the total bottom, but you can actually buy the deep. And so that's what you're supposed to be doing. For if you look at this guy, the DXY, so we have, as we have the golden cross, we have the dead cross on the other side. And this guy always have a kind of opposite, okay? This guy always have the opposite move. So when we have the DXY up, and then we're going to have the Bitcoin and of course the stock market. Now Bitcoin is now really separating itself, just like how Ethereum now is now claiming to be, a big boy and not just necessarily a kind of altcoin as it were. So Ethereum is creating a narrative to be like, a coin, not necessarily, an altcoin as it were, because of the value, the size as it is now. So most time, if you missed out on the major coin, which is the BTC, you probably want to diversify into more volume of Ethereum so that, and that was why if you look at it here, you don't need to have all the money in the whole world to start doing all of those things. You can do a strategy of what we call recurring buying, and to just buy for you, yeah, every day, all right? If you look at it now, this is just buying for me every day, $10 every day. And then, of course, invariably telling me now, on the average cost of what I bought, $1,932, so that I'm at loss. It doesn't matter, right? I'm just teaching us responsibility. It doesn't matter what price it is now. So what matters is that I'm buying, right? I'm just buying, I'm waiting for the bull run, There's so many strategy, but of course, some strategy are free that you can make use of and all of that. So this Ethereum, just recurring buying in that order, And most time we show us all of those things, but people don't even take it seriously because we're looking for hit and run Ponzi schemes and want to make money within a day, you want to make money and all of that. So when you do not take personal responsibility, it's going to be a big problem for us. Now, there's another exchange. Of course, I've been telling everybody, not only the people on the pay forum, but even on the free for just like we're talking now, that make use of OKs and Bybit. I've sent a link on our group and so even on the social media for people to use. And was another one was like test running the boat, test running the grid and the DCA boat of Bybit, and I discovered that test running them was the very fantastic thing to the DCA actually work more or less like the DCA actually work more or less like a recurring buy, and that's what it looks like. All right. So Matic is gone down. Yeah, Matic is gone down, and then Jasmine too, of course, gone down. And so it's creating a kind of recurring. I'm just doing a highlight for you to know that enough of wasting your resources into the hands of funny Ponzi scheme, a third party. Yeah, I'm not saying you should not take advantage of some of them if they come out, to be, well, depending on what you think you are looking for. But I don't think it's worth wasting your resources. Go have beautiful things that can help you to build a cash flow system, and you'll be fine. Okay. So that's for now about the market. So you want to ask me, okay, where's market going to? Well, I expect we're entering to the month of May. What we close with today determine if we're going to hit up to $34,000 in the next 30 days or so. And if we're able to break above 30,000 or 31,000, sustain and retest back there, then there's nothing stop us not to go to about $38,000 for June. But do you need all of those things? What you need is that, can I get buy at a good price? So what should I do right now? It doesn't matter what the price is. You just need to jump in now and then want to buy some BTC as it were. I'm sorry, I need to go over here. Okay, you just want to jump in now and buy some BTC. So it doesn't matter what BTC do to next week or next month, but you just need to buy. And so if you buy now, I'm using BTC as just a parameter for other coins. Yeah, but the thing you have to be very careful about is that if the BTC is jumping up as fast as possible, just understand that some of those altcoins that do not really have an intrinsic value, as it were, may keep dumping. So how to diversify? You want to learn portfolio strategy and management, or how to build your portfolio? Of course, that's what will require you to be part of the subscribe forum of Plan B Express. And the best for you, you can ask some people who are on private mentorship. That's the best can happen for you. But the point is that I do not have $5,000 to be part of private mentorship. Then make all these trainings, go to my YouTube channel, check some of those info that have been released, and then take advantage of narrative trading tokens. What are narrative trading tokens, right? Narrative trading tokens are tokens that, of course, you are following institutional event or, happenings, and then leveraging on them to buy if they're a pump, as it were, and then you're making a lot of money. So, but most time people are not ready to equip themselves. Oh, wow, ISP, you jump up and then down price. Okay. So a lot of people are not even ready to build themselves. That's personal development. And that's why we are just rigmaroling here and there. And I remember really sometime when we share opportunity or some tokens that people can buy, but people still don't know how to go about, setting up their wallet and all of that. But I think I'm not going to spoon feed anybody. You want to know how to navigate, Platform, wallet, operation, do it by yourself, because I do not recommend where people come say, give me money, I hold it, I help you to. No. That can be very tempting. So it's either I'm going to be overused or I'm going to cheat you. Two things are likely to happen. And the more likely one, no matter how you claim to be holy, the more likely one is that you're going to cheat that person. So why are you centralizing what is actually decentralized? That's what I always ask people. So I do not need to centralize a decentralized protocol. So it is important you learn how to, and the good thing, it's very simple. You just let the routine and all of that. So if you do not know how to go about navigating and all of that, I think it's an opportunity for you, get enrolled, or painstakingly watch some YouTube videos and following up, of course. But the difference between watching a YouTube video and having a mentor is actually large, because you watch some YouTube video, you probably will not be able to ask questions, from the creator, or why is this thing like this? I was doing it this way. I do not get the answer. Maybe I'm doing something wrong. So possibility of feedback may not be there. And so, but it will still put you, on a good path. to avoid, funny scheme, as it were. So narrative trading, and those of you, congratulations, those of you follow up. Okay, I think we had a training for Evergreen FFS last week in our office. Was it last week? This week, okay? Okay, on Tuesday. And we mentioned about 3 coins, ChainGPT, UOS, and one other one. I don't just know, I can recall. And funny enough, so this is the strategic thing about when you are in crypto. You can buy portfolios, you can buy like 3, 4, 5 tokens, and one can outperform everything, and one will be down, okay? Or 2, 3, 4 can be down, one will be doing just a moment. Let's go this way, Jinko. Okay. So about 3 coins were mentioned, if I could still recall, but I know that vividly 3 coins, yeah, so maybe it's an opportunity for some person to still buy, some of those coins and all of that. And then we saw that out of the 3 of them, this ChainGPT actually get crazy, and but this is what I'm not going to do, which of course I didn't. Okay, Pepe, for Pepe was smart people saw when I was navigating through Pepe. Wow. Congratulations, those of you guys who followed and smart enough to buy Pepe. And then I said I was going to be speaking in parable. And so that means in 7 days, you have done over 100% on Pepe, and then from the beginning of Pepe, about 10 days ago, Pepe has done about 1,000%. I think that's amazing. Yeah. So these are narrative trading, but how do we identify narrative trading? That's where you need training. Yeah, it's not difficult, And then we said ChatGPT did very, very well. And of course, I think he's still having some narrative around it. As somebody want to ask me, should I still buy? Well, it's your choice. I don't give financial advice. I only give friendly advice and personal advice. So based on my own experience and encounter is when I give advice to people. Yeah, maybe because this token, why it may still get pumped more over time, is the fact that it has a staking protocol. People are staking, and then they're trying to create more, narrative around it. But you have to be very careful. When you make some profit, you want to take out some money, and so it did all-time high. That was yesterday, 29 cents. But it's even going beyond 29 cents, of course, but that's what was captured. So in 14 days, we actually have done over 120-something%. But I'm sure those of us who bought earlier on within that period, we bought at 10 cents or something, less than 10 cents. Then it moved 29 cents. Let me quickly check. So let's see, maybe trying to create a kind of support, as it were. Okay, ChatGPT. Okay. So I listen to people keenly, and they just want to give their money to third party, but they can actually do beautifully well without, throwing your money left or right to funny schemes. But I think one of the greatest problem around the funny scheme people promote is not ignorance per se, but wickedness and greed. Because the percentage promised by some of those funny schemes to us are not even up to what you would do when you are personally following narrative trading, not necessarily knowing how to do, what I mean narrative trading now is that you just learn and get the right information. Okay, that means people who bought, ChainGPT that day when I saw people to buy actually had done about 184% or thereabout. But so even up until now, the people who at 23 cents, the people still able to be on at least above 120%, if I'm not mistaken. Now, what does it really give to you? Okay, let's say about $100 or $200 was allocated to that, and you've done about 100%. That's about $400. If $200 was allocated, then there's nothing bad in taking $200 or $250 off the platform or the token and split it back to another token. Now, I always love people to know that your first breaking even in the crypto space is not breaking even to buy a car, is not a breaking even to buy a house, is a breaking even to have an equity to spread to other projects, whereby, when new projects actually come in, I mean, buying into new tokens and restructuring your portfolio, you do not need to go to your local bank account and extract money, because that's one of the painful parts when you come into crypto. Of course, when you lack mentorship, you may not have method and you'll be void of result. That's what I've seen. The effect of not being teachable had a lot of grievous things or impacts on the people. And eventually people run away and say it's not working, but it's strictly working. Okay. So basically you need to have, if you are new tonight, you're just coming in for the first time to have, training platform, you need to know that you need to have an external wallet like MetaMask. You have some Trust wallet, Safe Power wallet, different wallet where you can be doing some swapping. And inside your wallet, you need to regularly have BNB, Ethereum, Polygon, and of course, stablecoin in each of those protocols. At least on Ethereum, BNB protocol, you need to have each of those tokens. And at the same time, keep a stable token in them like USDC, BUSD, USDT, both on Ethereum, both on BNB, Binance Smart Chain, or Polygon protocol, as it were. So that means Matic become a kind of a denominator again. So you have to continually have, Matic, because token you want to swap, on Quick Swap or different platforms, and so you can have readily available token to match with those situations. I don't know why this guy is not coming up. Okay. Now, somebody want to ask me, should I actually buy Chain GPT? I didn't say so. I only said, I told some people to buy. Then, so am I late? Well, it depends on the purpose you want to achieve that, for that. Okay. So you need to regularly have some of those tokens I mentioned in your wallet, and then that's going to help you. On your exchange platform, the Binance, the OKs, Bybit, so of course you need to have regularly USDT, when the opportunity to buy some coins. If you're not on our forum, maybe you're not my paid group, I can actually give friendly advice on token now, but I'm not going to tell you what time should you exit. And of course, even those people on the paid group, not that you're going to be told when to exit, but because of the type of training you got, you know what to do per time. With anytime you buy a token, there's a purpose established for that. And that purpose would definitely be the roadmap you want to follow. And so it's possible that you'll be following plan B and you buy a coin, but because you are not part of the inner court, let me use that language, permit me for that, you will not really get the detail on how, we permutate, portfolio strategy as much as possible. Okay, so now another thing I would say is this. Maybe we need to learn this. Let me give us one scope. The scope is simple, and I think we've done that before. Let me check this token. We've done that before, and this is when a project is introduced to you. That I'm talking about some of those Ponzi schemes. Yeah, because I've said it that most online ROI, both in crypto and forex, 80 to 99.9% of them are scam. That's the truth. You don't even get it twisted. That you are getting paid does not define or upgrade the legitimacy of such platform. We've been wounded. We've seen a lot. That's the truth. Yeah, they can pay you all like years, 1 year, 2 year, 3 year, 4 year, 5 years, even some up to 10 years, and then they will still cast. But I remember when they are casting, the people who are left battered are always more than the people who benefited. Even the people who claim to benefit will not do something reasonable what they benefited from, because they felt that, oh, this is the company, the best company in the world and all of that. And that's why you don't blame government or regulatory agencies that will tell you that online, Bitcoin, cryptocurrency, and all of that are scams. So you do not blame them, because all of those platforms that we see everywhere have nothing to offer than to rob Peter to people, and that's not the reality. But when you try to explain that to some friends, they will not want to listen to you that, okay, you're just being jealous. But it's not sustainable. Yeah. What they tell you, they are going to pay you in percentage. It's not as if it's so big, but the point is that what is the reality of it? What's the sustainability? Is it actually sustainable? No, the answer is no. Many of them are not sustainable. And so once you see a project being introduced, I think we did that on this coin. Let me pick it up. I don't know what price will it be now, but you can, I think that could teach you some lesson. Depth, if you're in plan B, Depth, that's one platform claimed to be doing some real physical mining and all of those things. Yeah. So promoters of such are mostly those people who are just looking for referral bonuses and all of that. So when they have a token, the best you can do when they have a token, you have to take a risk. The risk you take is that you look for some money, okay? You look for some money, just like in Nigeria, they use a slang, acid the hot, okay? So you look for some money, you buy the token. Now, so when you buy the token, that's you're buying the rumor. And now, as long as those hype, they go for conference, they go for international trip, they win award, and all of those things are going to make it's going to set a mindset, okay? It's going to set a mindset for the user, the promoters, the marketers. They're going to be talking about the token every time, and ignorantly, they will be buying and be holding some of those tokens, okay? You'll be buying the tokens, and so continually it's going to create a kind of abnormal demand curve for such coin. And once you have abnormal demand curve, what happened? The price continue to rise and rise and rise and rise. So yours is that you have told yourself, oh, you know what? As long as these guys are still hyping, making noise and all of that, of course, a lot of gullible people will keep believing them and all of that. Very snappily, you just exit. Now, if you have time, I discovered that such coin will have a first leg up, very high pump, and dump again, and take another leg up, and then probably may not get to the previous one and dump. So you may go 1 or 2 cycles in such coin, and then take out your money. So you can leave little fraction, all right, of your money in such coin and just leave it there. Eventually, the token will the noise will be made here and there. They will jump here and there, and then people will be building network of course, robbing Peter to pay Paul. And then at the end of the day, if you come back, you may have forgotten that the token had ever done maybe all-time high, and then it will perpetually be down because there is nothing around it, nothing to offer. So you can leverage on those things too. When they launch, you buy their token, they pump, you sell, you move away, or you can do 2 or 3 cycles, or maximum 2 cycles, and then go away. Now, the people who call themselves investor in it are going to cry eventually because they keep on twisting them here and there. Okay, our company just migrated to this. We just introduced this. You need to do. And then all the money you have invested, you have not been able to even recover your equity, not even up to 50%. And then they'll bring another new, say we just introduced one new project and all of that. So we all know all of those gimmicks. So you have to be smart ahead of them because all of them, what they're looking for is still equity to buy legacy coin. So I just use this guy as an example, and I owe no one apology using them as an example. And exactly what I did, I sold at $40, haven't bought at about $11, and then some at $15, and then I sold at $40, and then I bought back about, when it retraced, I sold at $35, $33, and since then I just keep little fraction, in the token, and then I'm not, crazy about it. So those are the things you can do around some of those tokens when they come. The gullible people will be shouting and tell you, those are the coins they will tell you that by 2020 something is going to be $30, it's going to be $100, it's going to be $1,000. That you can imagine by the time the token is $1,000, you're a millionaire and all of that. And then you'll be building the castle in the air, and then you say, hey, I'm going to be a millionaire and all of that. If you look at it, this token now, yeah, it has been not really. That means some of us have exit this thing and left the bag for people. Yeah, so coming. Okay. So funny enough, there are people who probably will invest in some of those projects. Okay, they will have invested in some of those projects. Okay, I think it's actually creating a kind of fine narrative for structural stuff. Yeah, but of course you have to be very careful. Should I still buy this coin? Well, that will be a gamble now because I do not see what they are doing. Yeah, that's the truth. It's outside the noise of we do that. You can see. So I actually exit at all-time high. I think it's about $40 or thereabout. And then since then, it has been perpetually downward and all that. So what should I do? So if I see that I reclaim over this green, so I may just buy. That means I'm going in at my initial price again, about $11. I'm not asking you to buy. So I'm just using it as an example. And so because the summary of what you are doing in your crypto is to build your portfolio. And that's why we have a slang in Plan B. We say 5 years of financial freedom via digital asset accumulation. I think it's expedient. Very last thing I'm going to share with you guys is if you are in an ecosystem in our community and then you have an intention to subscribe for Evergreen FFX, I just have a 24 hours offer. Okay. If you are within our community, you can ask your leader. Then like I made a chat on our WhatsApp, and then that if you want to take that, I think the first 20 people that can have your Evergreen FFX, GDI, and the Giant at a discount price, maybe 25%, but it's going to last for just 24 hours. And then we have just the first slot of the first 20 people. And then you can chat up with your leader to ask how you go about that. And then that's if you want to do a registration now and then get that kind of activated. So by next week, by the grace of God, we're kicking off regular, kind of business presentations on Evergreen FFX on Tuesday, if I'm not mistaken, prospect presentations and on Tuesday, I think it is 8 p.m. every Tuesday, and on Thursdays, members training, because we discovered that some people are on Evergreen and then they do not even know when to log in to check their boat to see what's happening and all of that. All of those things are going to be addressed, feedback from what you encounter. But please, I want to tell us, you do not need to market people, but continue to share with people. So because sometimes I've shared with a lot of people who never listen to me, so, but over time, when they now get the understanding, at least I've justified my own side. So you do not need to force anybody to do things, but it's your responsibility to share with them so that you fulfill your righteousness. So we're kicking off next week by the grace of God, and it's going to be very, 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 very fascinating. So you have friends who have been asking you questions and all of that. You can always invite them to the presentations. And then the members training is strictly for people who have an account. And for those of you who may be wondering what is Evergreen FFX, and of course, is a kind of new boat we got last year, 2022. And I said one of the best gifts I got in 2022 was the access to Evergreen FFX boat. It's predominantly on Forex, okay? It's predominantly on Forex trading. And so I always tell people, let's Evergreen FFX do the dirty job for you while you hold your peace. So you get it connected to your account of a broker of your choice anyway. And then, so we have two bots actually, the GDI, and which is conservative, and then the Giant, which is aggressive. Sometimes they are part of their performance. Sometimes even the GDI outperform the Giant. So, but they have their peculiarities and the unique selling points, each of them. And so if you have been wasting your money to funny ROI, especially centralized ROI platforms or crypto MLM, crypto MLM and all of that. Most of those crypto we get crazy about, they're just crypto MLM, no utility, nothing, no technology, it just people hype driven. And then, of course, I think you want to build a very fantastic cash flow. So it should be an opportunity for you to take advantage of Evergreen FFX. And that's why we have to add it to it. You do not need to know how to trade Forex. And so all you need to do is to follow instructions, set it up. I think the Giant's about $500. And that's why we say we have a special offer. It's not general. So the special offer elapses in 24 hours. And then, which ordinarily is $500. So if you're going to do 25% off it, you can calculate by yourself. And then you have the GDI, which is $300. And so 25% of it, you can calculate that by yourself and you know how much it's going to cost you to take all this. And but after then, of course, it's going to be a full price. And you can get your account, different broker of your choice anyway. No one is going to coerce you to, no one will coerce you to use a particular broker. But of course, we have friendly recommendation because of experience and the one we have used. So if you are game for that, you can always meet the person who probably invited you, to our forums, and then you can take a par. Okay, so I think at this point, let me quickly check something. Okay, I need to refresh this guy. Oh, wow. It's actually a big retracement, as it were. What's this guy? Oh, wow. Okay, so ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much for your comment. And you have questions? Let me see your hands up. And okay, and somebody, okay, there's a token. Some people ask me, what should they do with their CISU? This is the point. I always have a deadly approach to some projects when I do. Like in the case of CISU, look at it. You were asked to move your token out, and a lot of people rush, they pay $10 to move their token. That's not bad anyway. But I told people when they're about to do that, I kept running by, to buy tokens, both on their back of fees and at the same time on the wallets and all of that. So in doing that, I will just strategically positioning myself. If this one fail, this one should work. So the question you asked me, Felix, what if all fail? Then I move. Now, what if some now work? That's an advantage. What if all now works? So that's the point. So most time we don't take personal responsibility, and it actually baffles me when sometimes people come to ask some funny rhetorical questions about what they ought to have known or the responsibility they ought to take, right? The market is being very, dicey because of you can't actually predict the next person. Like one of my mentors would tell me that time, he say, hey, you know what? Yet we have on probability that the market direction should go this way. He said, but something can happen tomorrow. We do not know who is planning to sell enough Bitcoin that can take the price of Bitcoin back to $22,000. So while you are envisaging the price of Bitcoin to go to 32, 33, or, in this new month of May, maybe to $34,000 to $38,000, you shouldn't rule out the fact that you don't know people are planning to just sell off some portfolio they have in order to buy cheaper. So in doing that, you will now say, oh, the market did not go to $34,000, $38,000, rather it go to $22,000. Within a think of an eye, you just see that you take a return back and then go up and hit that amount. The question you ask yourself is that, what strategy will you put in place to leverage on all this movement, as it were? So the same thing happens to when you see a token. A dead token can give me crazy money. How? When I monitor the movement, monitor the narrative, why people are murmuring and complaining and afraid, I buy. And then when it's now looking like nothing is, it's now looking like, it's like, oh, we have gotten it right. And probably I may be selling. Okay? So it's expedient. We sit down and take personal responsibility. And that's one of the things that affecting a lot of people when it comes to crypto. We don't take personal responsibility, and then we want the easy way out. As long as you want the easy way out, you'll get to a difficult situation. So you have to take personal responsibility and then be able to follow instructions and help your fare as much as possible. All right, so ladies and gentlemen, so you are in our forum and you want to leverage on some of those things we mentioned. And of course, why not? Get back to a friend who invited you to the forum and take advantage of it. So please take note. Do not fall prey of some Ponzi scheme every now and then, because they will be coming out more day by day. There's no different. Now, the way they're going to leave you, I'm sure many people saw what happened last 1 month. It was, you just stayed, you get a report. Okay, Okay, somebody's asking, what's a bull run? A bull run is the top. Bull run is the uptrend of a market cycle, especially in Bitcoin. So when I was doing cryptocurrency, when you hear about bull run, that's the green time. But I always tell people, bull run is a narrative season of confusion. Okay, most people always wait for it, but that's the time they get confused because that's the time that people take a rational decision. That's a time that it's not by structure, it's by emotion and hype. So bull run is the most wicked season in the market. That's why I popularly say this: bull run is not your friend. Neither is the bear market your enemy. So people actually thought bull run is their friend. Never. Bull run is never your friend at all. If you think it's your friend, you joke. Because that time, that's when funny people who are not supposed to be in the market come into the market. And so every movement you see in the market that time is not natural, it's an artificial movement. So bull run is a season, and then I call it a season where we empty our bags, right? That's the time to empty our bags. So, but amateur actually fill their bag during that season while we're emptying our bags. So that's bull run. So technically, bull run is the top of the market where we ought to have what you call in RSI overbought, right? And then we trigger by what we call greed. So that's why when you are trader, you want to use some technical tools, fear and greed index, and you see that it's so crazy that time. The greed level so high, and that's the top of the market. So in a cycle, bull run is a season of everywhere grain. Even the non-entity can buy any coin and go up. But the same people will lose all the money they bought because that's the time people will tell you, oh, Bitcoin is going to go $1 million and all of that. And people buy irrationally without any structure, without obeying any rule. And so that's a bull run. Yeah, any question? Anyone you have questions, just type it quickly on the chat box. I'll attend to them in the next 6 minutes, and then we're done from this call. Yeah, so any other question, anyone? You are trying to connect your boat. Remember, this is almost 10 p.m., sorry, Nigerian time. And then trade is going to commence shortly now on Giant and GDI and all of that. So, and I will want to add to people, have a drawdown, please. If you know you do not, if you know you love Ponzi so much, don't even sign up to Evergreen. But unfortunately, the percentage will still do over the month will be more than some of those Ponzi schemes. It's just that the Ponzi scheme people are slaughter people's money and give to the top promoters, and that's what engulfed the top promoters to keep talking much about those platforms. Okay. Right, so outside the questions, so thank you very much and do have a nice rest. Meet up with your friends who invited you and ask them, how do you get aligned with this space? And I've told us the best for you is to have the first understanding that 5 years to financial freedom via digital asset accumulation. So you have to build your portfolio and then learn basically how to handle things by yourself. And then added to it, you build up some what we call cash flow system. And so you learn how to leverage on opportunity as they come, become like the children of Issachar, understanding time of, seasons, at when to strike and when not to strike, and then continue, to learn more, because learning, like myself, I'm a life student and I will not stop learning when it has to do with a dynamic ecosystem. So it's a broader system beyond what people tell you. And be careful again, don't get carried away by the talk of a CEO. I always tell people when you go for events, to say this is the CEO. Don't stop getting carried away by this. Anybody can be CEO. So say the CEO, I'm a friend to the CEO. The CEO have assured us. Just forget those bullshit. Forgive me for that language, but those things do not really work. The CEO have assured you. And then who is the CEO? Is the CEO deputy God that you say the integrity is committed to what they have said? They have nothing different from, they are the usual people who just run around the CEO. Get things practical and then follow things practical than the big English that some funny group of people will assemble themselves and call themselves CEOs and then you fall victim of them. I'm sure many of us will have learned our lessons by now. All right, thank you very much, everyone. Do have a nice rest. Bye-bye.